everybody, this is Ginger, and this is Ginger's Chat Show, and I hope everybody's well and safe, and, the usual hump day, pretty much. Um, anyway, we have something a little bit to talk about. Of course, yesterday, about 3 o'clock Eastern Time, in Florida, Miami, Florida courthouse, federal courthouse, that is. He who shall not be named was arrested and arraigned, and they said mugshot, everything has been done. Now, some say there was no mugshot. Well, I'm pretty sure that there was, because this is a federal case. What I can't understand is, why did a judge not slap very severe restrictions on him? And why did he not just slap him in jail? I don't care if Trump was so-called president. I don't care if he was. He didn't act like one. And he acted like a bully and a narcissist, and he needs to be put in his place. He really does. And the only other restriction he was put on it, he's not supposed to talk about the case with his co-conspirator or anybody else. Only talk about the case with his lawyers. He can't talk about anybody with anybody else. Well, him, he will break the rules. He won't listen to what somebody tells him not to do. He'll just go ahead and do it. Anyway, he was charged with 37 counts of obstruction, withholding stolen documents that he has no right to, because they're national security. He showed the documents to people that are not authorized to see those documents. And anyway, he committed a whole bunch of crimes. He had those documents out in the open. He had it in his one ballroom. He had it in a bathroom with the stacked in his shower. He had his aide, who was also indicted, which his arraignment will happen in June. Apparently, there's a lawyer issue for him. They have special rules down there in the Miami Federal Court. Lawyers there have to be a member of the Miami Federal Court lawyer group there in order to conduct any kind of business at the court. This is totally different from all the other federal courts. It's not like up in New York and everything. Those are pretty that are in the Bar Association, New York Bar Association. Well, those in Florida are in the Florida Bar Association, but they also have to separately be part of the Southern Florida Federal Bar Association. So if they are not, then they have to have somebody to be with them, to sponsor them, be with them on this. Anyway, I think there's a reason behind that. Anyway, he had those national security documents, and as usual, he lies, he, projects, he accuses everybody else of what he was doing, and that's gaslighting. So anyway, later on, after he was let go, which I still don't understand why he was not thrown in prison like anybody else that's been caught selling or keeping secrets in the United States. Look what happened to Robert Hansen. He was thrown in jail for life, okay? Well, he just died in prison this past week. He sold secrets to Russia then, and they didn't play around. They just put him in jail, and that's it. Well, they should have done. They should have done the same thing to Trump. They should not let him go on his own reconnaissance or anything else. They should have put him in jail and put him in solitary and have no access to electronics whatsoever. Now, during his processing, his electronics was taken away from him. He could not tweet or anything through the whole process. He could not even tweet in the, or not tweet, but in the True Social in courthouse, because it was in the courtroom. That was taken away from him, which probably drove him nuts. Okay. Well, during that process, as usual, you know how bullies are. They bluster and they think they're big guys and everything else, but when they're confronted, sternly confronted, and Trump was sternly confronted by Jack Smith, who is the chief special prosecutor. They investigated this case and charged Trump for those crimes. Well, Trump had threatened him and his wife and his family, and Smith stared at Trump. I mean, really stared at him. Well, coward that Trump is, he refused to look at Smith. He refused to look at anybody else. He was listening, sort of, but he refused to look at Smith in the eye, ever. He was scared, and he should be scared. And matter of fact, the judge there should have said, you know what? Since we're not going to allow you to do this and this and this and this, you will be put in jail. And that's what he should have done. Trump should not be allowed to travel anywhere. He should not be allowed to campaign. And Federal Elections Commission should tear up his application and say, nope, not going to happen. That's what they should do. And Trump is wrong. He's the wrong person for that job. He's the wrong person at the very beginning in 2016 for the job. I never liked the guy. He has no experience, governmental experience whatsoever. He just likes to bully people, like to grip people, and that should be stopped. And he's been confronted about that. Well, anyway, afterwards, after the arraignment and everything, he went back to Westminster, New Jersey, and which is also a crime scene there, because they got some stuff and found more documents and everything. Well, as usual, he projects in the crowd, he lies in the crowd, and especially his very super hardcore supporters, and he drifted off more of them. I don't know how many were there or anything were there at that fundraiser. I really don't. They didn't say how many were there. But I would assume it's pretty small. As usual, he lies, projects, and gaslights. And either they know he's doing it, or they just oblivious about it. So I can't really understand people why they do that. Because nobody really likes a bully, ever. They really don't. And I don't like a bully. And also, they know that he compromised the national security of the United States. And he should be in jail. Now, there are two other indictments that are going to happen that he has to face. There's one in Georgia, which the elections, and Also another one in Georgia and also in D.C., which is the uh, RICO Act charges as well. And how many of those counts, we don't know that's going to be yet until that in that indictment happens, okay, when that comes up. So he's got there's two more indictments that are going to be coming up. So he has a total of, let's see, one, two, about four indictments. Well, if you add the 27 in New York and 37 in Georgia, or in Florida, that's 64. And that's a long, long rap sheet. It really is. And of course, he on bond bail, and of course, uh, I hope they restrict him from going outside the United States. Um, and I'm pretty sure our Secret Service is going to make sure he's um, not going to skip the country, because they are basically a federal police agency, the Secret Service. Okay. Um, so anyway, I can't. Again, I can't stand the guy. I really can't. And frankly, as even though some people think it's too late for others that are distancing themselves from Trump. Well, I was listening to he's one of the former speakers of the House. What's his name? But anyway, he's a never Trumper. He never really liked Trump anyway when Trump was president. And he's convincing more and more people to say, hey, we need to move on from this. We need to get a better candidate that's more experienced, that so we can win, and we need to win fairly. And this is what he's saying. He says the cheating thing is not going to work. I forgot what his name was, but he was talking to one of the guys on CBS, and he's just he said Trump compromised the security of the United States. He said he should be forced to drop the campaign. So anyway, on other things, let's see. Okay, I have four. There's two. I see two show up here. I see four. Oh well. On a lighter note, congratulations to the city of Denver and the Denver Nuggets basketball team for winning their NBA title the day before yesterday. Congrats, guys. Kind of nice to see a title up here in the Pacific Northwest area, neck of the woods. I'm happy for Denver. Now, as of yesterday, yesterday? Yesterday. The Game 5 of the Stanley Cup was won by the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They won that. And congratulations to Las Vegas on their win. They've been hunting for that particular title for a long time. And yeah, the Kraken should be winners in that, but there's some teams that are better than others, and that's just sportsmanship, okay? Like in anything, it's all about the numbers. Same way in voting, it's about numbers. Okay? Same way in games like baseball, football, any kind of sports, it's about the numbers. It's, that's what it's about. Okay? But again, I do hope that even though I know probably Jack Smith is watching He Who Shall Not Be Named like a hawk, um, and saying, you know what, he keeps that up, then yes, a gag order needs to be put on Trump. Well, they're basically saying, like any person who is accused and innocent until proven guilty, Trump is not anywhere near innocent. Um, he's the total opposite. Um, so anyway, I hope they slap a gag on order on him. I really do, because he's already violated the rule that he's not supposed to talk about the case to anybody else but his lawyers. And he's already broken that rule. Well, you know what? They need to slap him hard and slap him back for it. And saying, well, you know, the judge should say, you know what? This is what's going to happen. You do it one more time, we will throw you in jail and we'll put you in solitary. That's where he belongs, is in solitary. And, of course, as always, he doesn't listen to his lawyers. uh, he has this attitude that he knows everything better than anybody else. And it's going to bite him in the end. It probably already has. There was Fox News thought his daughter Ivanka was down there supporting her dad. That wasn't her. That was one of his other assistants. And Ivanka had distanced herself from her father quite a bit. She doesn't want anything to do with him, and she's on the other side of Miami. She lives in Miami area. She doesn't live in where, you know, in Mar-a-Lago. She doesn't live there. She lives in Miami. And she doesn't want anything to do with him. And you think the kids would be smart enough to, you know, say, nope, no more. He had no family there to support him at all. Which really says a lot. It really does. There was one case years and years and years ago, I remember this very well. There was a shooting that happened just outside of Buckley. Well, this guy was shooting at anybody or anything that moved. And, well, he was caught. Or the cop to stop him, the cop shot him. Well, he spent a couple, 3 days in a hospital jail cell after surgery and everything else. And his mom says, nope, not going to bail him out this time. And none of the family was there during his court or trial period or his arraignment or anything. None of the family was there. She said, nope. She said, I tried getting help for him. He had some mental issues. Tried getting help for him, and there was really no system to help people like that back then. And so, anyway, he's in prison now for 3 counts of murder. So it's basically 20 to life in prison. Spending life in prison. So, I'm so glad I don't live in that area anymore. Buckley is about 30 miles that way ish. It's a little town, and most of the outside of Buckley, is a whole bunch of farmland. farm and ranch land in there. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off early. And I got to go eat lunch. I'm hungry. So, anyway, again, we'll keep on top of this. If you want more information on what happened as far as legality, how the legal system works, go with Midas Touch and watch Legal AF. They explain how the legal system works when it comes to cases like this, what they can and cannot do, and things like that. So be sure to get information on that, okay? And people are getting copies of the 37-page indictment because Jack Smith wanted everybody to read it, have a copy of it and read it and say, hey, this guy needs to be held accountable, and he does. We already had, and throughout history, we had a number of people that were treasonous against the United States. The first set that happened was in 1953 at the Rosenberg. But they were executed. But things have changed through the years, and again in 1985, 1980s, when Robert Hansen did his stint. Of course, he got life in prison, and he ultimately died in prison. But there's a number of other people that have had illegal possession of those documents, in which they belong to the country, belong to us. So anyway, okay, well, I will post this video on my YouTube channel, and hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and let me check my calendar. Okay. I'm good to go on the 16th. I'll see you at 1 o'clock on the 16th on Friday if there's any more developments, and I'm pretty sure there are. And go from there. Oh, one other thing, I find this kind of funny. There were supposed to be, quote unquote, thousands of protesters at the Miami courthouse, right? There were like maybe half a dozen that were there. Very, very small crowd. And I find that really kind of funny. He's really lost a lot of his base. He really has. And many of them were probably pretending to be supporters. Okay, you get a lot of nuts out there. So anyway, okay, I will see you guys later, and take care. Okay, love you. Bye-bye.